guess, Trev. Either you know something or you don't. Paint your legs black, Trevor.
Don't be silly.
Go on.
Someone's got to get
Give me that email, Matt.
Yeah, I've read this. It
What is
disturbs me a little bit.
Well, it should do.
What's the matter?
This is an email from Fairyface. Whilst I continue to love Russell's wit...
How can you take that seriously? It's an email from Fairy.
Well, that's the thing. People, you know, people send you an email, they don't use their real name, then you have to read it out like it's their name.
Yeah.
Whilst I continue to love Russell's wit, intelligence and brio...
That'll do. That's enough of that email. Thank you very much.
He's like oral caffeine. My initial doubts about the whole regular taunting of Trev continues. It is bullying. Even if it is a performance and with Trev's permission, I just think it gives out dubious messages to your younger listeners about what is acceptable treatment of quieter, different people.
Turn your phone off! Trevor, give him a Chinese burn.
Quiet and different person.
Take his dinner money. Take his quiet and different dinner money, you quiet, different little pervert.
Yeah. Just stop scapegoating Trev. Let him into the gang and find a new dynamic for your relationship. Grow up, boys. You're scarring, Trev.
I would like to
Thank you,
literally
Fairyface.
scar
That
that
person doesn't understand a comic conceit.
Yeah, that's my
Russell,
view of the subject.
you
as
can't
well.
just do that and let everyone laugh and not explain what it was.
Someone might have done a blow off in here.
That is
Perfectly
disgusting.
natural. Well, you know, bullying's obviously wrong. I was bullied at school. Let me think about that. Oh dear, dear old Jamie Dawkins, bless him.
You always say his name.
I know, because he beat me up a lot. But then I was a bully as well. Bullier, bullyee.
Yeah, I did both.
Hunter became hunted, you
That's
know.
why.
Some bully, yeah, what's some
What I
bullying?
think's weird is that, like, anti-bullying campaigns. How's that ever going to work? How can you go, bullying's not cool, and, you know, things like that, and people wearing wristbands? It just doesn't work. It's a natural, like, kids are horrible to each other, and they'll always, you know, it's up to the teachers to try and stop it, but you can't.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe you can. I went round my friend's house, he's got a 3-year-old boy, and he's like, was in the garden playing with him, and he was like getting snails, and he was being all nice to him. I goes to my mate, he's not nice to them snails, it's ever so good. He goes, well, initially his reaction to the snails was to round them all up and smash them in, like he was doing trying to ethnically cleanse the garden.
Yeah.
And he goes, goes to him, don't do that to snails, and eventually he grew tired of it. So perhaps you can indoctrinate children, but it is in there, like, cruelty does seem to be an integral part of our nature. And I don't, you know, I mean, yes, bullying is wrong, there should be no bullying, but the way we treat Trevor, I think it's righteous in a way.
I think in a way it's, you know, it's the first wave of a new dawn.
New dawn, a glorious new dawn where people like Trevor and his kind were wiped from the face of God's earth.
I think it's only right.
Trevor is not part of a kind. You know, if it ever became like a genocide, that would be wrong. But Trevor, just as one person, I don't think it's wrong to wipe him from the face of the earth. Look at his little face now.
I am quieter and different.
Don't use that, Trev, as a badge of honour, some talisman to hold aloft to make you feel better about yourself. Anyway, all right, to show how much we actually do love that imbecile Trevor, who even now is awaiting some paint to arrive to paint his silly little legs with, so that he looks like a normal member of the gang, one of us, let's make him one of us. While we're awaiting that, Trevor, you can tell people about the Edinburgh Festival. Next week, this radio show will be from the Edinburgh Festival, where I'm doing like stand-up up there. Have a look at russellbrand.tv. We're practising our sitcom that we're doing on Radio 2.
I've been told I have to be an old lady.
Yeah, well, I think that's a short sideways step for you, if anything, the way you live your life. So, and Trevor Locke is doing his first hour ever of stand-up comedy. Now, this is a golden opportunity for people who want to look at Trevor floundering like a goon for 50 minutes of trivia and tripe. Trev, do you want to give details to people of how they can come and see this thing at the Edinburgh Festival?
Yeah, if you want to see this, you've got to ring this number, 0131...
Trevor, that's not... What kind of description's that?
What?
It's like a binary code. Yeah, if you want to see this, listen to this number.
What is this?
What is this thing? What are you going to do at the Edinburgh Festival?
You just described it. I'm going to be doing, you know,
Right,
funnies for...
show us a bit then.
I'm not going to do it now. You can see.
What?
It's all, I haven't written it yet. It's
You've
all,
not even written it, and
I
next
have, I've
week you
written a few
expect people
things.
to come and see it.
It's brilliant. It's really good. I'm doing it. You can see a preview tonight in Leicester Square at the Sound Cafe.
Trevor will be
in a
standing.
venue.
Yeah, in a venue.
You're not going to be just standing in Leicester Square with your trousers down, holding a cup, expecting
anymore.
people to give you
Turn
money.
your phone off.
Trevor, turn that off, you absolute goon.
Look.
All right, so if you want to see Cocky Trevor Lucky...
4 o'clock next Sunday. This is the only show I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, except for our Cloud Cuckoo Lounge
Yeah, but this is
sitcom.
me on my own doing my.
So we're
proper
doing the radio
stuff.
show from Edinburgh next week.
Yeah.
And then a few
after
hours
that,
later,
you're
I will
doing
be
this.
there at the Gilded Balloon Wine Bar, in a wine bar.
In
Wow.
a wine
In
bar
a
of all
wine bar.
places.
At 4
Doing an
o'clock.
hour's
The
stuff.
Gilded Balloon- an
Thank
hour.
God wine will be available
An
because
hour
it's
of
going to be the
jokes.
only comfort in a grim hour of tedium.
You'll be laughing a lot. It's really amusing.
I'm going to take that wine intravenously, Trevor. I'm going to ask for that wine to be poured directly into every orifice in
You're
my
not
body.
gonna come.
Just to entertain me. I'll be there, Trev.
yeah.
I'll be
I
there.
will be there. Me and Matt Morgan will be sat in the front row shaking our heads solemnly at the spectacle
I don't want you
of a
guys
lost idiot man trying to fill an hour.
Look, it's going to be fun. This is the number. Get your pens out now and write this number down.
No way.
0131 668.
Say it again. We missed the beginning of the number, Trevor.
0131
Yeah.
668 1633.
What a boring number. I bet that's the most interesting thing about the show. Why don't you just stand up for an hour and recite that number at the audience?
And before people say we're bullying Trev, look, Russell created a window there for Trev to promote his thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
whilst he was slagging it off.
Yeah,
but in a comical way
Comical
to draw
conceit.
people in.
Oh,
while also saying that me and Matt would be there, while what might actually make people attend just because of the proximity of people with genuine talent.
I don't want people turning up to my show to look at you guys on the front row nodding your heads.
We're not going to be nodding our heads, Trevor. That's a positive gesture. We'll be shaking our heads. We'll be shaking our heads and weeping and trying to pour wine into each other's eyes to comfort ourselves like poor cuddling orphans watching the final hours of their parents.
I'm going to do a Sudoku and every now and again look up and tut.
What I'm going to do,
You
Trevor,
sad, churlish man.
I'm going to try and get myself to lactate by just massaging my own bosom.
Well, that's good, because that is part of the show, collecting your lactose.
Is it interactive?
Is it going to be interactive? Yeah.
It better be, Trev, because if it's just you on your own, it's going to be one of the most tedious hours of
Stop
modern
it.
history.
Are we allowed to shout stuff out?
Of course you can.
Things like, Trevor, get off of the stage!
Don't do it.
Prepare
Don't
some
encourage that.
material!
Otherwise
No, we
people
won't.
are going to turn up and do that, aren't they?
We won't.
So Sunday, 4 p.m, Gilded Balloon at a wine bar.
At what? The Gilded Balloon Wine Bar.
The Gilded Balloon wine bar! Oh,
wine bar.
great! Oh, great! Oh, the
great.
famous... Is
Yeah.
it...
You organised
It's not
this.
Madison Square Garden.
Well,
Oh, the Gilded Balloon Wine Bar. All the greats have been at the Gilded Balloon Wine Bar. Do you remember when the Clash was there? Do you remember when Lenny Bruce was there? The Gilded Balloon Wine Bar. I was at the Gilded Balloon Wine Bar. It was a hell of a night, guys. But then the Hells Angels that I'd employed as security stabbed someone at the Gilded Balloon Wine Bar. At the Gilded Balloon Wine Bar with Clucker Trevor Lucky at 4 o'clock on Sunday. I played at that Gilded Balloon several times. They do a notorious gig called Late and Live back in the good old days.
Got thrown
of
for a
junkiedom.
window.
Got thrown for a window, that was another gig, but one gig, what I done, right, I didn't have no material, this was when me and you was working in Ibiza, Matthew, for MTV. I had to go spend half the week in London, half the week in Ibiza, came back 1 week to do the Edinburgh Festival, flew into into Edinburgh, realised I had to do a gig in front of a baying mob at this Late and Live thing, didn't have any jokes. Terrible drug problem. So like I just went to a joke shop, got a bag of blood, filled up, got a bottle of blood, filled up these little plastic bags, like little cellophane bags with blood, sellotaped it around my body, was wearing a white vest, went up onto the stage, like knew there'd be, for about the first 30 seconds the gig went alright, and people started shouting, go, like that, not enjoying it. And then I goes, oh, do you want more drama? Do you want something more dramatic to happen? Remember how I used to be when I used to say things like that quite regular. I had a glass of vodka in me, I necked the vodka, smashed the glass on the wall and goes, right, is this dramatic enough? I start like pretending to stab myself with the glass, dragging it out, and all the blood bags burst. So all the thing was covered in blood, like diard. But I was barefoot as well, and the stage was all covered in broken glass. So I stood there, hello, now I've got a problem. So like, I had to sort of pitter-pat my way through the broken glass while people were throwing things. Someone threw a plastic bottle. I was, throw glass! And like, there's a drum kit at the back of the stage, got the microphone, started beating on the drum kit with the microphone, went off the stage having caused all that chaos. The audience then demanded an encore because I was enjoying throwing stuff at me so much. I like got it to the state of a riot. It was like, hey, come on, it's a war. Like whipped up a proper frenzy. Some people said it was brilliant. Like Bruce Dessau, the comedy critic for Standard, goes, oh, it was brilliant work of art. But a lot of people thought it was rubbish.
I think Bruce Dessau probably thought it was rubbish.
No, he's put it down in print that he thought it was a work of art. Yes, and then
Why'd you use false blood? You might as well have just done it for real.
Some of it did. I mean, I got blood all over my feet, and some of the broken glass did stab me. So I mean, there was real blood mixed in with that.
Iggy Pop.
Iggy Pop. And then, like, I did do an Iggy Pop when I was nervous. And then, like, Sean Hughes came up to me and, like, at the end, he got, like, and they had to smuggle me out of the back door of the venue because it was causing all sorts of, like, bother and violence. And, like, then, like, I didn't remember it all because I was on drugs, and I bumped into Sean Hughes, like, a bit later, like, a couple of months later at something. And he went, hey, all right, nice to see you again. I goes, oh, hello, I didn't know we'd met. And it was a bit awkward and embarrassing because Sean Hughes, I liked him and everything growing up. He's brilliant, isn't he? There's a vague air of awkwardness. So that's what happened at the Edinburgh
Hang on a
Festival
minute.
one year.
I don't understand that.
When
George
he
Hughes
came,
bit.
he came. Yeah, but Sean Hughes had met him that night, and he
Because
obviously
it
remembered
smuggled me out the back door and I forgot it happening. I forgot the whole event.
But hang on, I thought you. When was the time you thrown through a window?
That was another night. This was like this. I think this was the next year. It was again for the Gilded Balloon.
You hadn't learnt a lesson.
Nope. I was taking a lot of drugs. I was in a terrible mood, and I didn't have any. I was meant to be a compere. So if you're the compere of a gig,
This is like when you did, buying dead animals and stuff. It's like, I haven't got any jokes for tonight. I'll get some false blood.
I know, it's a really silly way of approaching comedy.
Bizarre.
It's certainly not funny. And then, I was meant to be the compere, and if you're the compere, you're meant to be like the audience's uncle, aren't you? All jolly, we're having a good time, aren't we? Right, and I remember on the bill was Alan Carr and Rob Rouse, and I was like, I got this big adversarial atmosphere going with the audience, and then I'd have to go, please welcome Rob Rouse, and luckily Rob Rouse and Alan Carr both really good, and I used to get a good vibe back in the room. And then, at the end, of course, all this chaos had been lots of things getting smashed, and lots of violence, and me accusing the audience of being responsible for murders and things like that. And then, then I walked directly from the stage through all the audience, right across everyone's chairs. Then someone wanted to have a fight with me. And remember, Matthew, when I was on drugs, how I used to say strange things in fight situations.
Yeah.
It's things like, yeah, coming in, yeah, all right, sunshine, yeah, all right, darling, do you want to dance around my garden, sweetheart? Yeah, all right, Tootsie Two Shoes, do you want to put on a blanket? Yeah, do you want to rub me up the upside? Yeah, do you want to nibble my knicker?
He used to confuse people, though.
It did confuse people.
Especially me. I used to back away.
He had to watch these ridiculous outbursts. And then, this bloke, I started trying to bite this bloke. I goes, yeah, come in. I was whispering in his ear, started trying to bite his face. And all the security sort of came up and started getting hold of me, even though I was the act who had just come off stage. And, they weren't proper security, they were just holiday jobs. So I was able to pull them about a bit. Then, realising I was trying to pull them over this stairwell. I was in this sort of old Edwardian building with this great big stairwell, and tried to yank them with me over these stairs so we'd fall down the stairs. They summoned another security guard, I think from the cellar, some sort of Igor character came up, just clamped his big hairy forearm around my throat.
Did anyone say God sees him?
It's that sort of vibe, like sort of dum dum dum, like the bloke at the beginning of Rank Films who hits that bell, boom, or that gong thing, right? And then clamped his forearm over my throat. And I had to sort of go, help me, I'm sorry. The vibe all changed. I think claiming to be epileptic and things I used to do when things like that got a bit heavy. And then dragged me downstairs, and there was this fire door with wire mesh inlaid in it, glass but with wire mesh, and I was thrashing around and they started to throw me, and I ended up getting smashed right through this door, all gashed right into my leg, right to the bone, all blood pulsing out, coming out to the beat of my heart. Pose was amazing to watch. Then I just stand outside waiting for the police and the ambulance, all covered in my own blood. Then got to the hospital, there was these lads waiting in, it's A&E on a Saturday night in Edinburgh Royal Infirmary. Goes to these two lads, can you go and get me some heroin, please? They're only 14 years old. Give them 40 quid. Them lads never came back to my heroin. You can't trust anyone. What's wrong with kids today? You ask them, get me just a little bit of heroin. They come in, I'll never see them again.
You should have asked the hospital. They would have given you
morphine. I said that. I said I'm a drug addict. I'm going to need some heroin soon, so I'll be in a terrible mood. And then, then I had to stay there. And I woke up. Next time I woke up, was paramedics was hovering over me, pointing at me with a stick, explaining to as a doctor going to some medical students, honestly, explaining things.
Hovering over you, pointing with a stick.
Yeah, going on, and then he's done that, that's going to be needed. And they put me in the next bed to a bloke who only had one leg. I think it's a chilling warning of problems. Honest to God, I was in the next, I had to stay there overnight. Yeah. To me, that you could lose a leg. And they goes, what are they going to warn him for? He's got lost enough, hasn't he?
Didn't you nearly lose your leg?
Yeah, they goes, if it had been an inch to the left, we'd have had to have lopped that leg off, you silly sod.
No, that's a lie.
I know, do you reckon it was a lie? I know, I didn't see that.
An inch to the left.
I goes to one nurse, hey, nursey, I've heard stories about, nurses administering services to patients, extracurricular services. I goes, I've been here 2 hours, I ain't had a bite. What's going on? Like that. They laughed. They liked it. Perhaps they didn't. Actually, there was a complaint.
They were humouring you. You were just a drunk weirdo in a bed.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Then I phoned up the Gilded, the Gilded Balloon phoned up. Karen Corrin, this lovely lady who's in charge of the Gilded Balloon, phoned up and goes, Russell, what's going on? I goes, yeah, there's a bit of bother. I might be late for tonight's gig. We're not having you back there ever again. You're mad. And then I had to go back home. Martino, who we used to work with, this lovely fella, he was there. He goes, Russell, you better learn how to tell. He goes, looking at the gash on my leg. He goes, you better work out how you're going to tell that story because you're going to be telling it every time you wear short trousers.
Yeah, that scar's quite bad, isn't it?
It's a bad scar, isn't it? But I quite like to have a scar.
It's a sexy little scar.
Sexy, isn't it? Sexy to have a scar. So that'll be the Edinburgh Festival. This year, though, it'll be Trevor Locke that'll be getting that kind of.
I'll be doing jokes mainly.
Jokes, will you?
Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing any.
Not slashing yourself up.
No.
Slash yourself up, Trev. Do do it with a pencil sharpener or something.
Was that ever filmed, any of that stuff?
No, it wasn't. No, it's a shame, isn't it? But no, we've got stuff on tape, and we might have, like, you know, smashing up animals and stuff.
I beg
That
your
sounds
pardon.
awful.
The animals were already dead. I'm a vegetarian. It's wrong to smash up animals. I was on drugs. We used to get animals.
Bits of animals from butchers.
Yeah, bits of animals from butchers.